When we talk about focusing on yourself instead of others, the first obstacle we must confront is the habit of comparison. It's subtle, and it's constant, and it's deeply woven into the way most people think. Whether you realize it or not, comparison steals your clarity, and clarity is one of the most valuable tools for personal growth. Without clarity, you cannot see your own strengths, your own weaknesses, or your own direction. You begin to live according to the expectations and successes of other people. And the moment that happens, your identity becomes blurry, your decisions become reactive, and your journey becomes confused. Think about how often people measure their progress by looking at someone else's timeline. Someone else got the job earlier. Someone else started the business faster. Someone else has more followers, more money, more recognition. But what most people never stop to consider is that these comparisons are completely meaningless, because you and that person are not living the same story. You don't have the same background, the same challenges, the same opportunities, the same mindset, or even the same goals. So how can you compare two lives that were never meant to be identical? Jack Ma once said, "Don't worry about the people who compete with you. Don't worry about the people who look better than you. Worry only about whether you are improving every day." This is not just motivational advice. It's psychological truth. The more you look at others, the less you understand yourself. The more attention you give to someone else's achievements, the more disconnected you become from your own potential. Comparison is dangerous because it creates an illusion that someone else's success is a judgment against your progress. But life doesn't work like that. Someone winning does not mean you are losing. Someone growing faster does not mean you are falling behind. The only real competition in your life is who you were yesterday. When you compare yourself to others, you chase the wrong goals. When you compare yourself to yourself, you pursue real growth. There's also a deeper psychological layer here. Comparison shifts your focus from internal control to external control. Instead of asking, "What can I do better?" you begin asking, "Why am I not like them?" One question empowers you, the other weakens you. One leads you inward, where change is possible. The other leads you outward, where you have no control. And a life without internal control is a life of frustration. People often ask, "How can I stay motivated? How can I stay confident?" The answer is simple. Stop feeding your mind with other people's highlights and start paying attention to your own journey. If you constantly observe the best moments of others, you will always feel behind. But when you observe your own progress, even the small steps, you begin to build confidence from within, and confidence built internally is unshakable. Another problem with comparison is that it makes you impatient. When you see someone achieve something quickly, you begin to doubt your own pace. But every journey has its rhythm. Some people bloom early, some bloom later. The important thing is not when you bloom, it's that you keep growing. A seed does not look at another seed and say, "Why are you sprouting faster than me?" It simply continues to grow because that is its nature, and you have your own nature, your own timing, your own process. Life becomes clearer when you stop looking sideways and start looking forward. Your clarity returns. Your direction becomes sharper. You regain control over your energy, your goals, and your mindset. And when clarity returns, progress follows. Not because you're competing with anyone, but because you're finally aligned with yourself. If you want to build a powerful, focused, disciplined life, comparison is the first thing you must let go. Not because other people's achievements don't matter, but because they don't matter to your path. Your value is not measured by someone else's timeline. Your potential doesn't shrink when someone else grows. And your journey doesn't slow down just because another person moved ahead in theirs. Remember, this comparison is a thief, not of success, but of clarity. And clarity is the foundation of becoming the person you're meant to be. So let this thought stay with you. If you stop comparing yourself to others, you finally give yourself the freedom to become yourself. When you stop comparing yourself to others, something interesting happens. You begin to notice how much energy you were wasting, not just mentally but emotionally and even spiritually. That's why the next step in focusing on yourself is understanding a very simple truth: your energy always follows your attention. Whatever you choose to focus on grows stronger in your mind and ultimately in your life. Most people don't struggle because they lack potential. They struggle because they invest their attention in the wrong places. Think about it. Your mind is like a spotlight. It can't illuminate everything at once, but whatever it shines on becomes brighter, more detailed, more significant. If that spotlight is constantly pointed toward other people, their achievements, their lifestyle, their pace, you will naturally feel overshadowed, overwhelmed, and disconnected from your own path. When your attention leaves your life, your energy goes with it. Jack Ma often says, "Your attention is one of your strongest currencies." He's right. Every moment you spend observing others is a moment stolen from your own growth. You can't build your life using the energy you're investing in someone else's story. Psychologically, this is called the attention behavior loop. Where attention goes, emotion follows. Where emotion goes, action follows. And where action goes, results follow. It all starts with what you choose to pay attention to every single day. If your attention is scattered, your emotions become unstable. If your emotions are unstable, your decisions weaken. And if your decisions weaken, your results suffer. It's a chain reaction. This is why some people feel drained even when they haven't done anything physically exhausting. Their energy isn't gone because of effort, it's gone because of misdirected attention. They are mentally living in someone else's life, emotionally reacting to someone else's progress, and spiritually disconnected from their own purpose. And yet, they wonder why they feel lost. On the other hand, when your attention turns inward, toward your goals, your habits, your progress, your energy becomes more focused. You start to feel a kind of internal momentum. You begin taking actions that align with your mission, not actions influenced by someone else's success. You start making decisions that serve your growth, not decisions that serve your insecurity. Energy rooted in self-focus produces clarity, discipline, and consistency. Philosophically, this idea is ancient. The Stoics taught that a person becomes unstoppable when they focus on what they can control and release everything else. Modern neuroscience supports this too. The brain strengthens whatever it repeatedly pays attention to. This means your focus is literally shaping your identity. If you pay attention to problems, you become anxious. If you pay attention to opportunities, you become optimistic. If you pay attention to others, you become reactive. But if you pay attention to yourself, you become powerful. When you direct your attention to your daily habits, you begin to see where your progress is coming from and where it's being blocked. You notice the behaviors that drain you and the ones that strengthen you. You start to understand your inner world. And when you understand your inner world, you gain the ability to shape your outer world. Many of the most successful people are not the smartest or most talented. They are simply masters of their attention. They don't waste time trying to match someone else's rhythm. They don't get distracted by who is ahead or behind. They place their attention where it matters, on improving themselves, learning new skills, refining their mindset, and taking consistent action. When you control your attention, you control the direction of your life. Ask yourself, where is my attention going every day? To growth or to gossip? To learning or to scrolling? To my dreams or to someone else's highlights? The truth is, your future is quietly being shaped by what you're paying attention to today. And if your attention is scattered, your future will be scattered. If your attention is intentional, your future will be intentional. You cannot create a strong life with a weak focus. You have limited energy. You can't give it to everyone and expect to have enough left to build yourself. You must choose where your attention goes. You must protect it like something valuable, because it is valuable. The world is full of distractions, endless noise, constant comparison, artificial urgency, but your power comes from learning to retreat inward, sharpening your focus, and directing your energy toward what truly matters. So remember this: the quality of your life will always reflect the quality of your focus. Put your attention where your growth lies, and you will begin to move with a clarity and strength that no comparison, no distraction, and no external pressure can shake. When you stop comparing yourself to others and begin directing your energy inward, something remarkable starts to happen. You become aware of your own path. Not the path social media promotes, not the path your friends expect, not the path society glorifies, but your path. And one of the most empowering realizations in life is understanding that your journey is supposed to look different. Your pace is supposed to be different. Your experiences, your timing, your challenges, your victories, they all belong uniquely to you. But here's the problem: most people don't honor their own path because they think it should look like someone else's. They think success must follow a certain timeline. They think growth must follow a predictable pattern. They think progress must be visible to others to be valid. This is why so many feel discouraged. They are trying to fit their unique life into someone else's template. Jack Ma often says, "Your future is not determined by other people's success. It is determined by how you shape your own character, your own decisions, your own vision." That statement carries both a philosophical truth and a psychological reality. When you honor your own path, you stop measuring your life by external markers and begin measuring it by internal alignment. You start asking different questions, not "Why am I behind?" but "What is the next step for me?" Not "Why is their life easier?" but "What can I learn from this moment in mine?" The truth is, your path is unique because your soul is unique. Your experiences have carved a perspective that no one else has. Your struggles have developed strengths no one can replicate. Your failures have taught you lessons that belong exclusively to you. Even the things you regret, the things you wish you could change, those too are part of your story. They are the pieces that make you who you are, and they give meaning to the path you walk. But honoring your path requires patience. It requires humility. It requires the courage to accept that you might grow slower than others, that you might take detours, that your breakthroughs might come late or in ways you didn't expect, and that's okay. Life is not a race, it's an unfolding. Some people bloom early, some bloom late, and some bloom more than once. What matters is not when you bloom, but that you continue to grow. You must also understand something deeper. Your challenges are not punishments, they are instructions. Every obstacle on your path is teaching you something essential for the next chapter of your life. Every delay is building a strength you don't know you need. Every struggle is carving out a version of you that will handle future opportunities with maturity, discipline, and wisdom. If you skip your struggle, you skip your preparation. When you honor your path, you also release the pressure of perfection. You stop trying to impress the world and start trying to understand yourself. You stop forcing outcomes and begin trusting the process. This shift changes everything. It brings peace. It brings confidence. It brings direction. You begin to realize that life is not happening to you. It is happening for you, shaping you in ways you'll only understand later. When you embrace your unique journey, You also begin to appreciate others better, not as competition, but as different stories unfolding at different speeds. You stop judging and start learning. You stop envying and start understanding. This mindset frees you from a heavy burden and allows you to move with clarity, purpose, and calmness. Your uniqueness is not a weakness, it's your advantage. No one can be you. No one can replicate your inner world. And no one can walk your path for you. The moment you accept that your journey is intentionally different, the pressure lifts and the direction becomes clear. You stop asking, "Am I enough?" and begin asking, "What can I become next?" So if you feel behind, if you feel lost, if you feel confused about where your life is going, remember this: you are not off track, you are on the path that belongs to you. The lessons you're learning now, the challenges you're facing now, the growth you're experiencing now, they are preparing you for a future uniquely designed for your abilities, your purpose, and your character. Honor your path, trust your timing, respect the pace of your own growth. Because the moment you stop denying your own journey, you start stepping into your true power. And let this thought stay with you: your life becomes extraordinary the moment you stop trying to live someone else's story and start fully embracing your own.